All right, hey B, what size wheels did I put on my pit bike?
14, 17. God, that was stupid.
Next to me, you will see my Buscadero 140. This has been my favorite pit bike for the last couple years. It's a higher end pit bike. It's been with me to every show. I've ridden it probably 1 billion miles at all the different events, Mid-Ohio, band camp, all the different motorcycle events I go to. This guy goes with me. In fact, many of you have probably ridden it as well. The bike has proven itself to be reliable, has plenty of horsepower, almost too much to be honest with you, comfortable, and just all around one of the best pit bikes I've ever owned. So this year, getting ready for Mid-Ohio and things like that, I was thinking about maybe changing the color, and I know that they sell different color plastics, etc. So I went to the Buscadero website. And lo and behold, I find out that this bike now is sold with a 14-inch rear and a 17-inch front. This will give it much better ground clearance, and honestly, the way it's geared right now, it's almost too much torque, so the bigger wheels will actually give it higher speed, and I don't think you'd have to change gearing. So I was thinking about it, but again, they were almost $600 for the wheel set. So with all the purchases I've made recently with the new bikes, the Ninja 250 that I'm working on for my wife, which I am working on, I'm actually taking a break from that right now to do this, I just couldn't do it. And then, just because the universe is awesome, Johnny Mac hits me up and goes, "Hey Steve, I found a wheel set on Amazon, a 14 and 17-inch wheel set made for SSR and other pit bikes, and it's $200. It comes with the wheels themselves, inner tubes, and tires already mounted." Well, that was a no-brainer. So now we have a 14-inch rear and a 17-inch front to put on the old Buscadero. So that's what we're gonna do today. It shouldn't be too complicated. It comes, like I said, the wheels came like that. You just have to transfer over your hubs, your brakes, and then slap them back on. I'm hoping the spacers and everything are the same, but honestly, looking at the hubs really quickly, it looks like they're basically the same. So this should be quick and easy. It should be a good break for me from the Ninja 250 work that I'm doing, and I should have a much more capable motorcycle at the end of this. So if these things don't suck, I'll put an affiliate link down in the description, and they should pretty much fit any like decent pit bike that came with like a 14-inch and a 12-inch wheel set on them. So, all right, let's give it a shot and see what happens. I'm fucking pumped. All right, we're gonna start at the front because it's gonna be the least complicated. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this sucker taken apart. All right, just gotta get this brake disc off of here and put it onto the other one. If I can get it off. Oh boy. I didn't think about this. Okay, this might be a problem. Huh. All right, well. All right, well, we're gonna have to try some heat, possibly some oil. These guys are frozen in there, and the heads of the bolts are made out of Swiss cheese because I have the exact size flat Allen key. It's the proper size, it's not stripped, it's not anything, and these bolts are just turning into strippedness. So worst case, I'll have to drill them out and then get new bolts. Yay, nothing ever goes easy, does it? All right, let's try some heat. I realize this is not like map gas heat, but sometimes if it has thread locker on it, all you gotta do is heat it with this and that'll make the thread locker loose enough that you can get the stuff out. So we will see. Yeah, they ain't coming out. Shit. All right, well, that sucked ass. Something that should have been simple wasn't because of some stuck bolts. We were able to drill them out. I got the brake disc off without doing any damage to the brake disc whatsoever. And I really didn't damage the rim either. We got 3 stuck bolts that I will drill out and use an extractor later and get those out. That's not important today, so we're gonna go ahead and put this on the side bench. Now, as I did basically, incapacitate my smaller wheel, let's really hope that this is gonna fit. So here's our new 17, here's our brake disc. Hey. All right, perfect. That's gonna go right on. I just have to go source 4 new bolts, and I'm gonna get them so that they're not Swiss cheese. So all right, let me go get those bolts and we'll be back to put the front wheel on.
2,000 years later.
So my 20-minute throw some wheels on the old pit bike job turned into, well, it's 5 days later, and as you can see, there's still no wheels on the pit bike. So what I didn't think about was the bolts being that stuck. And actually, Pete on the podcast pointed out, you got an aluminum hub with a mild steel bolt going into it. So there's some galling that could take place, and it just basically locks those bastards in there. So as you saw, I had to drill them out. Problem with that is I didn't have any replacements, and they're a very specific bolt. They are a brake rotor bolt. They have a large flanged head with another flange that fits inside the brake rotor, and then an 8mm bolt that actually goes into the hub. So, just like every single other person watching this, I looked online, tried to find some bolts, found them on one of and everybody's favorite website right here. And look at that, they're exactly what I was looking for. They are a flanged brake rotor bolt. So I ordered 12 of them. That way I'd have a few extra in case something happened. So I waited the 2 days for them to come, and this is what they sent me. Button head bolts. These are not what I ordered. They have a fake advertising listment, so I wasted 2 days just to get a bunch of bolts I could have got anywhere. So I am returning these, screw it. Usually I'd say, okay, I can use them, but no, these dudes ripped me off and I'm pissed. So what did I do, and what am I gonna recommend to you guys? If by chance you decide to get a wheel set for your bike that does not come with brake rotors and or your drive, just buy new ones that come with everything you need. That way they're going on clean, and we're just gonna put them on. Because those other bolts will just not come out. And honestly, on a pit bike, you're never gonna burn through your brake rotor. So I'm just suggesting, leave them bastards on the wheel, buy yourself a $20 brake rotor and bolts if the wheels you choose do not come with them. So, all right, so now we're gonna get to throw this together. I'm hoping this is gonna take 20-25 minutes, and we will have a larger wheel set on our favorite pit bike. So, here we go. After 5 days of waiting around, I'm finally gonna finish my 20-minute job in about 6 days. All right, so this should be pretty straightforward now. Now that we got the right parts, like I said, if I was gonna do this again, I would have just ordered these straight from it. And I got titanium bolts too. So the weight savings alone is worth the problem. Cool. All right, let's get the front wheel on, and then we'll start dealing with the back. I'm excited. We're almost there. This 20-minute job that's taken 6 days is actually going to plan now. Woo! All right, I'm going to get this front wheel in. One of the things I always suggest to do, I think pretty much everybody does, is put a little grease on your axle. You don't want that sucker rusting inside the spacers inside there. I can tell you that is never a good day if that happens. So, just a little grease, nothing crazy, just. Well, I might be putting quite a bit, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to be a bad thing. Let's get it on inside there. All right. Then we're going to slide the disc into the brake caliper, and then I'll get this coming through the side. We get that on. I got to put a spacer in there, and then we're pretty much good to go on the front. Give it a tighten. So. All right, so I had to take the wheel back off. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it to align. It was driving me kind of crazy, and then I noticed. So this spacer on the original wheel goes inside that dust cover. You can see it going inside right there, and so you can see how far it goes in. On the new wheel, it doesn't do it. It just lines up right there. So we're gonna have to shave off right to that line. It kind of marked it for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, and we'll put this back, and that wheel should align much better. I could tell it wasn't aligning because it wasn't perfectly straight right here. It was actually off to this side about that much. So again, it fits inside here about that much, doesn't fit inside there. Everything else is the same dimensions. I measured it, so it's definitely just down to the spacer. So I'm gonna go ahead and grind that off, and we'll be back. All right, so now that makes a lot more sense why I was having such a hard time aligning it originally. I thought it was just because I couldn't see, but there was an extra almost 1/4 inch of spacer on there. So we got the spacer cut down now. It fits on top of this part of the spacer, so it should be nice and smooth. We should get a nice clean spin on the wheel. So let's give it a shot. All right. All right, and front brake. Oh yeah. All right. 6 days later, front wheel done. Let's get to the back. So these are the rear wheels. If we look again, this bearing is flush right with the dust cover, and this spacer sits inside the dust cover. So, and we got 2 of them, 1 for each side. You can see where they lived on the spacers. So I'm gonna be going ahead and I'll be cutting those spacers down, and we'll get this guy on. Also, see, we're leaving the brake rotor on here. We're not messing around this time, no drilling it out, but we do have to get this off. So I guess before we even cut those, let's get this off to make sure that we can get the sprocket off without too many issues. I'm pretty confident though, since it has actual bolt heads instead of hexes, we'll be able to get this off. So let me go ahead and do that. Get out of here, baby wheel. Now there are different sides to this wheel, so make sure you are getting the right one for your sprocket side. It has like kind of the more rounded things compared to the more triangled ones. That's for your brakes. And this guy should go right on there, and it does. Hell yeah. Okay. Now even though these wheels are changing the gearing of the bike, it had so much power before that I don't think it's going to affect anything. It's just going to give it more speed. So I'm not mad about that. Let me get these guys started. And once we tighten them, we'll bend those guys up. We'll put the brake on, and then we will get this wheel on. And we are back on track. All right, we got clearance. Oh, I'm not too mad about that. See, we call this mud season. The whole yard is just like this all the time. I can't cut grass, I can't do anything. Just growing hay back here. So we definitely can't rip it back there without destroying the yard, which, I mean, if it was up to me, I'd do it anyways, but I gotta be cool, so. Legit! I gained 10 plus miles an hour. Holy shit. Alright. I gotta clean the car. Man, hell yeah.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh, forgot about that. Alright. If you couldn't tell by me hopping and hollering when I was riding that, This was awesome. It easily added 10 miles an hour to the bike. It was much more stable, less twitchy. This thing is gonna be a beast off-road. I wish it wasn't mud season because I would definitely take it out back because there's some trails back there that are kind of hard because they have some logs and stuff that we're trying to make into trails. And I think this thing's gonna go right over them now. So, awesome, awesome day. I'm glad that this 25-minute project that took 6 days is done. But I can say with confidence now that I do recommend the bigger wheel set. I don't care which ones you get. This isn't sponsored. I'm not trying to promote stuff. But if you want these, I'll put a link down below where you can get them on Amazon. But again, I highly recommend, besides getting the wheels, get yourself the right size brake rotors and make sure that they come with bolts. Because if you're trying to take your old ones off, you're probably going to have some hard times. And it would probably be just way easier just to slap the new ones on. Plus, that way you have 2 wheel sets too. So if you wanted to maybe do slicks on the other ones for a super motard kind of thing and then keep these knobby, you could probably do that. So again, that's what I'm recommending. But overall, I'm pretty stoked. After I ride these for about a half an hour, I'm going to bring them in and then I'm going to check all the spoke nipples. I have a little spoke wrench. I'll just go and you just want to make sure that they're tight. I'm not going to try to true them. They look like they were running pretty straight. So just after running them in a little bit, we'll tighten up the spokes, make sure they're cool, because the last thing you want to do is love the wheels, be ripping down the street, have your spokes come loose and just destroy the wheels. So highly recommend doing that. So, all right, you will see this everywhere I go this summer, Mid-Ohio, band camp, everything. I am in love with it. I am going to clean the carb. You can hear it kind of rasping out a little bit. It's been sitting for a little bit, so it needs a little love. So we'll get that cleaned up and this thing's going to rip. So, all right, well, it definitely works. So if it works, it ain't dumb. We'll see you guys on the next one. Woo. All right.